Hello students, let's start with the next chapter, that is the human reproduction, the third chapter in your NCERT. As we all know that humans are sexually reproducing organism and human give birth, that means we are viviparous. Throughout the life of an individual, the reproductive events in a human includes the formation of gametes. Formation of gamete is also called in biology as gametogenesis. Gametes are of two types, sperms in the case of male and ova or the egg in the case of female. Once the gametes are formed, the male gamete is supposed to be transferred. This transfer is into the reproductive tract or the genital tract of the female with the help of the copulatory organ, that's the external genitalia, and that organ is penis. This transfer is called as insemination. And once insemination has taken place successfully, the fusion of male and female gametes takes place inside a particular position in the fallopian tube, and this process is called as amphimixis or fertilization or syngamy. This leads to the formation of a diploid structure called as zygote. Zygote undergoes further development of embryogenesis. First it turns into blastomeres, then it turns into a morula, then turns into a blastula or blastocyst, finally gastrula, and it undergoes implantation, and further 9 months, almost 9 months of pregnancy takes place, and the newborn baby is delivered out. So to start this topic, first of all we have to understand the basics of the reproductive tracts of the male as well as female. So today we are going to deal with the topic of male reproductive system. The male reproductive system, in 10th you have done some amount of the introduction has been done in the 10th class also. So we all know that male reproductive system consists of two portions, that is the primary sex organ and the secondary sex organ. Now what exactly is a primary sex organ? A sex organ which releases the sex hormones and also produce the gamete is called as a primary sex organ. So in the case of the male, it is a pair of testes, because these testes are responsible for sperm formation as well as for the production of the androgen or the main hormone, main sex hormone, or androgen means, andro means male, gen means production. So something which produced by the male body as a sex hormone. The best example is testosterone. So there is a pair of testes which are present in the male reproductive system, and then there are some secondary sex organ. So whatever is there apart from a pair of testes, all those portions or organs are called as secondary sex organ. Secondary sex organs are accessory ducts. The ducts are the pipe system. They are inside the testes as well as the outside the testes, which help in the transfer of the gamete from the site of their production, that means from testes. The gametes will be transferred through a passage of ducts. All those ducts together are called as accessory ducts. Then there are some sexual glands or accessory glands which releases the nutritive fluid and the medium, and that's why we all know semen is fluid in nature. So the fluid property of the semen is contributed by these accessory glands. We'll be learning about them. And the external genitalia, the externally visible sexual portions are called as external genitalia, and they are only two in number in the human male, that is penis and scrotum. Together these two things are also called as accessory sex organs. To start with the main topic, let me just remind you something, that the testes are positioned basically when a male baby, a male embryo or a fetus is developing inside the mother's body. During the process of the pregnancy, up to the 6th month or 7th month, testes remain inside the abdomen. So the development of testes is basically intra-abdominal, but the moment the pregnancy enters into the 7th month, the testes descend out from the abdomen and they come into the pouch-like structure, a muscular structure, which is called as the scrotum. So as it enters into the scrotum, it is called as extra-abdominal testes. So in human, testes starts developing in the abdomen, and then by the time of the 7th month of pregnancy they descend into the scrotum, and now they are positioned as extra abdominal testes. There are some organisms, for example elephant and whale, where testes remain permanently inside their abdomen. It never comes out. And then there are some animals like bats and otter in which the testes remain inside the abdomen, but when the season for the sex has come, the testes descend out, and once the season of the breeding, that means seasonal breeder, once the season of their breeding is over, testes again go back into the abdomen. So that means testes can be permanently inside or outside in the human, and they can be temporarily inside or temporarily outside. Now the next thing is when we try to understand the outline of a testes are oval in shape. They are 4 to 5 centimeter in length and 2 to 3 centimeter in the width, and their thickness is 2 to 3 centimeter again. So each testis weighs somewhere around 12 grams. So it's a quite small amount, and each testis is attached to the abdominal cavity with the help of a string-like structure. I think you can easily see in the NCERT diagram also. This is the testicle, and then there is a tissue which is carrying it, which is connecting it to the abdomen. So though they are present inside a scrotum, they remain in contact with the abdomen with the help of spermatic cords. So spermatic cords is the collection of a large number of tissues, even the lymph as well as the blood supply, arteries and the veins, and it carries the muscles which are responsible for keeping the position of the testes in the right place. Because when winters come, testes are supposed to enter closer to the abdomen, and when the summers come, testes have to stay as far as possible from the abdomen. The reasons we are going to learn quite soon. So the next thing is, the spermatic cord is supposed to be attaching the testes to the abdominal cavity through an opening. That opening is called as inguinal canal. This canal is open in the beginning. It is covered with the tissue once the testes go down into the scrotum. So as long as the testes were inside the abdomen, this cavity was open, and once the 7th month of pregnancy started, testes goes inside the scrotum. At that moment, this tissue, there is a tissue which plug the whole thing and seal it. Reason, testes need not to enter back again into the abdomen, never. But sometime what happened, this canal remains open. It is possible then when somebody goes to gym and performs heavy